Well, Lynn's here because it's first day of school, or well, second day for her children. Yeah, I took Gabriel to school, sophomore. So weird. So weird. But he was excited, and I'm so glad that he was excited and in a good mood, because when I was in high school, I had so much angst, and I didn't like school, and I never wanted to go to school. I had good grades, but I just hated the environment. So I'm just so happy that he doesn't seem to mind it. It's nice to see. Anyway, I wanted to open up this practice. First of all, saying today is a kind of an iconic day with numerology. So if you ever study numerology, like back in February, we're like, oh, it's 2/22 of 2022, right? We kind of focus on the set of twos, and that being like holding a certain type of energy. Same with 11/11. Same with today's date, 8/8. And 8 is like the sign of infinity. So they say at the end of July, moving across this date into around the 12th is taking us through a Lion's Gate portal. And this has to do with the Sirius star. It has to do with the Orion belt and how it lines up with the pyramids at Giza. Anyway, you can research it if you want. I'm going to do a meditation towards the end concerning the Lion's Gate energy, so that you can kind of honor this day, maybe absorb some of this energy and use it for your benefit. But before we get into the physical practice, I had a luncheon with a friend of mine last week who was very disheveled and very disgruntled and extremely stressed out, and literally having panic attacks when she wakes up in the morning. And it's happening because she's putting a lot of pressure on herself, and she's feeling a financial burden, and she's incredibly, just irritated with the music industry right now. And I'll tell you why, and it's for good reason. She has an amazing talent. She's been a classical pianist and opera singer. She doesn't really do opera anymore, but she does more rock kind of songwriting. And she's amazingly creative, the way she puts out her videos, and she's just like nonstop, just in the abundant flow of creativity. And she has been frustrated since the pandemic because she had a record deal lined up where she had everything recorded, everything ready to be released. And it was with Warner Brothers. And then a week before the release, this was a number of years ago, they decided to drop the guy at the company who was over her project. And so when they cut him out of the company, they cut all the artists that were his projects out of the company. They were just like, okay, we're doing away with you and everyone under you. And so she had to start over from scratch. Well, the pandemic, the music industry's been changing anyway, as we all know. It's not as much talent anymore. It's more, what you look like, or how they can like design you or manipulate the situation. But anyway, she's been getting contact with different A&R people at different record companies, and she's had this pitch ready to give them, and she's had all of her material ready to send them, but they don't want to see or hear any of it. Do you know what they want to know? How many viral TikTok videos she has. And they won't even talk to an artist or a singer unless they have viral TikTok videos. Now, I'm not even an artist, but that just makes me sick to my stomach even thinking about it. Like, really? You got to be that kind of person? There's only a certain kind of person that can even do that, And it's like, wow, that really slims the pickings down a lot. And so you can imagine she's on social media like almost 24 hours a day, trying to figure out content, creativity, what to say. And she's trying to follow all the rules, and it's not getting anywhere, right? So you can imagine how frustrating it would be. So what I want you to think about is What is stressing you out? What is causing you grief? Where are you disgruntled in life? And can you do anything about it? Or are you just kind of running in circles? Because it's really important that we don't allow ourselves to get to the point where we're waking up with panic attacks. And if we're waking up with panic attacks, it's a sign that we in life are way out of balance. And we got to do something to recreate it. So it's really important, not just our physical health, but our mental, emotional, and spiritual health, to keep all of it in check. Because if one falls off the kilter, then it's probably going to make the rest off kilter. So with that in mind, let's sit upright to start our practice with. And I like sitting on a bolster because it just makes it easier for the back to be able to sit for a little bit of time. And I want you to rub your hands together in a vigorous way. They say that there are 72,000 nadis in the body, according to yogic philosophy. That's 72,000 ways that energy flows. Now, in Chinese medicine, they break it down to a major 14. So you normally hear me talk about those major 14 nadis, but they say even in the hand, all these points are here, okay? So now that you've opened all this up, I want you to just barely cup your hands over your eyes, feel the warmth. And then go ahead and release the hands, palms open on your lap. So even though we were cupping the eyes, it was really about feeding the third eye. The sixth chakra that allows us to gain the sixth sense of our intuition. Maybe even notice the sensation, palms. Feel that energy and think about the energetic portal that we're in right now, called the Lion's Gate. Think of the qualities of a lion. It's leadership skills, being courageous, brave, being loyal, being heart-driven, feel as though you're absorbing and attaining these qualities. Even picture yourself having a big lion's mane around your head and neck. Keep gazing in and up to the mind's eye. And as you inhale, envision that you're pulling in the light through the midpoint of your brow to the center of your head. As you exhale, drop that light down from your head and into your heart. Breathing the light in through the mind's eye, towards the pineal gland, then down into the heart as you breathe out. Visualize this for a few more rounds of breath.
gently begin to open up the eyes. We're going to come away from this bolster. Now the blanket you may want for your knees. I'm having trouble getting this synced up, so I'll need to play it from my phone. Let's go ahead and get in standing Vajrasana. So if you need that extra support underneath the knees, add it in. We're going to start out with gate pose, since this is a lion's gait. Send your right leg over towards the front door. Turn the toes out in that direction. Float your arms up shoulder height. And then turn your left palm open towards the heavens and start to curve over to the straight leg. Now your hand can be at your hip. It can rest on your thigh or your shin. Try not to put any pressure on your knee. The arm can go straight up or it can angle closer to the ear. You can even cup a hold of the back side of your head and slightly dial the heart skyward. Breathing into the side body. Affirming here in Parigasana. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. What would you like this lion's gate to open up for you? Inhale, come back up, release the hand, turn the toes a little bit more 90 degrees, and then lunge that knee. Good, then inhale, slightly straighten. Exhale, lunge the knee. So we're just kind of rocking back and forth. It doesn't have to be completely straight. We're just kind of coming in and out of it. That rocking motion can be very therapeutic, especially if this is an area that becomes a little arthritic. All right, let's go ahead and rest the elbow to the thigh and go ahead and shine that left arm back up towards the sky. Splay the fingers wide this time on that upper hand so it's nice and energized. Keep that arm that's resting on your leg, slightly opening the thigh and the hip. So the knees tracking towards the smaller toes. Good, then inhale, come back up. Relax your arm, drop that knee, send the left leg out, turn the toes away, and then float your arms up shoulder height. Spin your right palm open, gently curve over to Parigasana gate. Hand to the hip, thigh, or shin. Arm up to the ear or behind the head. And inhale, let's gently come up. Exhale, relax the arm. Turn the toes a little bit more 90 degrees and start to lunge the knee. Slightly straighten and then re-lunging. Just that rocky motion back and forth. Just warming up the hip, prepping it for the next phase. All right, now sink into it. Rest the forearm here. And take the right arm skyward, splaying open through the fingertips. So I'm pretty sure, I didn't look this up, but isn't this Leo? Aren't we in the sign of Leo right now? I think we are, which is represented by the lion. I feel like that's a fiery, masculine energy. Perfect for this time of year, right? During these heat waves that we've been experiencing. All right, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, relax it down. Okay, so go ahead and come off your blanket because we're gonna need it for the next position. I'm gonna open up my blanket so it looks like this. Much wider than the sticky mat. And then this will give us a little extra support when we align ourselves on our stomachs. So we'll give a little bit of padding to our pelvis, hip bones, pubic bone. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide the arms out and we're gonna lift the right knee up and flip to the inside of the right foot.
If your shoulders are not enjoying this position, feel free to change the shape of the arms. Sometimes I see people place the arms beside them versus in front or beside them. Just kind of play around with it and see what works. When you face plant down, close your eyes. Soften the muscles of the face. Let your belly bellow as you breathe. Creating that swelling as you breathe in. Feeling it deflate as you breathe out. Now we're going to slowly start to lift the face up. The arms are going to walk in closer together so that we're building up into a back bend. Elbows rooting down, heart flying up. Feel free to close your eyes here. Channeling the breath up and down. Affirming here as you hold, I rise joyfully to greet each and every new opportunity. Now go ahead and lengthen your right leg back. And you're going to lower down to your brow. Before we go to the other side, I want us to take our hands, palms open at the low back. Stretch your leg bones back and bring the feet closer together. As you inhale, lift your right hand, head and chest up, and take the right arm out in front of you. And then exhale, release the arm behind and lower back to your chin or brow. Inhale, the left arm is going to circle in front, and you're going to lift the head and look out with your eyes. And as you exhale, you gently lower. Continue, inhale, lift with the right arm reaching out. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, release. One more to each side. Now, let's take the hands underneath the shoulder bones, push up to all fours. It's okay if your hands and knees are on the blanket. Draw in through your navel, so you're hollowing out the belly, dropping the tailbone, and spilling the chin towards your chest. Continue to breathe. And now gently release. Slide your hands out, come back down onto your abdomen. Slide your arms out to the wing position, turn to your right ear and lift your left knee up. Flip to the inside of your left foot, so you're in like half frog pose. Close your eyes and just surrender. And the best way to surrender is to perform your diaphragmatic breathing, because that will help to calm the mind and relax the body.
So it is a known fact that the more inundated we are with technology and our electronic devices, that we tend to experience more anxiety. So enjoy having a break from all of that right now. Let the breath be medicinal for the mind and body, to help you to regain some balance, to regain some composure. Inhale, we're gonna lift and create that hybrid variation with Sphinx. So create your Sphinx arms and open your chest up. Notice how the sensitivity changes in the hip when you prop your chest off the floor. The more you're able to tune into your body, to notice these little things, and the more you learn and figure out your energetic anatomy, like through the chakra system, you'll be able to pinpoint when life is showing up in your body. And you'll be able to notice, oh yeah, so-and-so's in my hip right now. And then you can say, I release this person's energy out of my body. We were doing all these balancing sequences in the last class, and I was trying to blame it on Gabe. I'm like, I think I'm feeling Gabe's jitterness today on his first day. Could have totally been mine. One more deep breath. Rising joyfully through each and every new opportunity. And on your exhale, slide back down and take your left leg back. Bring your hands to the small of your back again, around your kidneys. And bring the legs closer together. Keep them engaged. Firm up your buttocks. And then inhale, right arm circles around in front. Exhale, come back down. Slow, steady breathing. Left arm next. And exhale down. Keep alternating this way. Keeping the shoulders mobile, strengthening the back, toning the lower body. We're going to end on the left side. So make sure you include the left. And then once you're back down, take your hands underneath the shoulders and pop back up to tabletop position. All right, so now we're going to go into cat-cow again, except we're going to add a lion's breath. And we're going to do it reverse of the way we typically do it. So as we inhale, we're first moving into cat stretch. And as we exhale, we take cow tilt, spell the tongue, lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow with lion's breath. One more. Good, now return to tabletop position and sit back towards your heels just long enough to remove the blankets. And then we'll start to maneuver more. Once you come back to tabletop, your toes will curl and you'll lengthen back to downward facing dog. So in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, press down through the mounds of the hands, the forward part of the hands, not your wrists. Lengthen back away from your wrist and bow the head between the arms. On your inhale, you're going to lift your heels, so you're coming towards the tippy toes. Good, as you exhale, you're sliding the energy down the legs and sinking the heels towards the mat. Don't worry if they touch or not. Inhale, come up again. Good, exhale, drop back down. Couple more.
And last one. Good, now travel the feet forward towards the top of the mat. When the feet come forward, lower down. As you hinge from your hips. Maybe roll the head from side to side. Holding Uttanasana. Now this is opening up one of the main energetic pathways according to Chinese medicine called the urinary bladder meridian. On your next inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And then exhale, bring hands down to the hearts. All right, inhale, take the arms to the sides and up again. And then as you exhale, swan dive forward and down to your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. All right, inhale, you're stepping your right foot back. When you step your right foot back, you're gonna be stationed here in like a runner's type lunge. So if you need blocks, feel free to utilize them. But I want you to notice right now where you're sensing anything in your back leg. So I'm not really engaging my back leg yet. And when you're not engaging your back leg, your knee may be slightly descending. You may be feeling that stretch with the iliopsoas muscle in front of the hip. So pull up your back hamstrings up towards the ceiling so you're not feeling the stretch as much around the hip. And then turn and plant your back foot to the floor. Take your right arm up and helicopter up to Virabhadrasana 2. When you come to Warrior 2, make sure that you're not pulling forward with your left side waist. It's actually lengthening up out of your hips. And then gaze towards the front door and push out through the heel of your hands. So your fingers are turned up towards the sky. I'll make my ears so you guys can see. So you're pushing out through the heel of the hands. I know we don't always do this pose this way. And then you're going to turn your palms open and then turn your fingertips down. So like that. Yeah, I'm going to do your other hand too. Sorry, you guys at home. So we were going from here to here. All right, now turn the hands back to the way they originally were. So the fingertips are turned up and you're powering out through the heel of the hands again. Can you feel that? And then turn the palms open and then spill the fingers down. You got it. Good, now come out of Warrior 2 by bringing the hands down to the floor. Keep your right hand where it landed, but send your left hand over towards the inside of the left foot. And then you're going to bend the arms and crouch down onto the lower. And keep rolling that left knee away from your waistline. In other words, not letting it concave in. All right, turn back around into that runner's lunge where you're facing the front of the room. You got it. Step back, plank. From plank, press back, downward facing dog. Once you invert again with your head lower than your heart, power up through the sacral area. Keep lifting through the sacral area because that's where we're sending the energy. Feel as though you're lifting it towards the Sirius star. Good, now walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. Come up halfway when you arrive. And then exhale, release. Let your head go, let your arms flow down. Evenly distribute your weight amongst each side. Affirming nothing and no one on this earth can hold them down their back. Inhale, root down to come up. All the way at the top, and then exhale, hands to hearts. All right, we're going to do that to the other side now. Inhale, expand open. Exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Inhale, we're stepping back with the left foot.
Coming into that runner's lunge, and we're just gonna be here a moment. So you can be on fist, you can be on fingertips, and of course you can use blocks. Make sure that right foot is solid, that the knee's not tracking way past the ankle. And then check in with your back thigh, because if you're feeling that wrapping in front of the left hip, if you pluck the left thigh up towards the sky, you can take that away. And you can really do it either way, yin or yang. They both have benefit. Turn and plant your back foot, lift your left arm first, then your right. Focus on the foundation and build up through the waist, and then flex your hands and power out through your palms. Maybe have the chin in line with your chest. Now flip your palms open and turn the fingers down. Keep reaching. Good, turn the hands the other way. Reach and breathe. Flip the hands, fingers down. Now go ahead and shift forward, land your hands. Keep your left hand as is, but bring your right hand back over to the mat, to the inside of your right foot. And then crouch down, active Spider-Man pose. Breathe. Now spin around and face the front, come back to that low runner's lunge. Step back plank. Exhale, down dog. Make sure there's just a few inches between the big toes. Like you could place a fist in between. Keep launching up and back through your hips. And then exhale, settle down to your knees. Keep your hands super glued to the mat. And push back into extended child's pose. Don't force the head to the floor. It may want to hover. Breath. Then inhale, rock up to hands and knees. Exhale, we're coming down to the forearms. And we're gonna squeeze the palms together with the hands laced. All right, from here, plug the belly in and push down through your forearms. And feel that locking action, the engagement between your shoulder blades. Feel the locking and the engagement in your belly. We want to keep that. Step your left foot way back, curl the toes under. And then match it up with the right. So you're performing forearm plank. Now it's a little easier when the hands are tied together because we're looping the life force energy and connecting it between the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine. All right, now, baby step the feet forward. Keep the head off the floor and create dolphin pose, which is very similar to downward facing dog. Your head's off the floor and your hips are shining up. This is a strengthening pose, especially for us ladies. All right, let's gently sink back to the knees. This time, keep your toes curled. Lengthen out through the arms again, hands shoulder distance apart, and doing more of this variation of child's. Stretching out the feet. Now walk your hands closer to your body. And you're going to lean forward to untuck the toes. And you're going to separate your knees. And you're going to dial your hands around as much as you can towards yourself. Okay, this is the lion's pose. Since we're talking about lion's gait today, and we'll do the lion's breath 3 times. By the way, lion's breath is medicinal for that breath. So if you live with someone who loves their coffee through the day, and they're coming up to kiss you, say, lion's breath first, please. Inhale. Exhale.
2 more. Last one. Good, now gently turn the hands. Close the knees back together. Circle the hands around you and drip over to regular child's pose. A pose that can work as a calming agent for the mind. A pose that can be very soothing to abdominal pain or pressure. It's a pose that can bring a comfort during grief or sadness. Or one that helps with pratyahara, sensory withdrawal. Your next in breath, I want you to stretch your arms forward and out. Rock up to hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna work on some balancing poses. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and stretch out the vertebrae first. And then as you exhale, begin stepping the feet forward to the top of the mat. Go ahead and spill over to your Uttanasana. This will be our final hamstring stretch this way. Inhale, root the feet and come all the way up. And then exhale, hands upwards. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is step back on your mat. And we're gonna step forward with the left heel and spread the toes while they're up. And then when you step onto the foot, line the leg bones up and stack them in precision. Now take your left hand to your hip and catch your right knee with your right hand. Flex through that ankle. Gaze at one spot. Now open the Padangusthasana. Now, we're going to take the arms into an L shape, right arm up, left arm to the left side, and the right leg's going to shoot off to the right. Push out to the sole of the foot, 4-point star, honoring Sirius star today. And then lower the right foot, as well as the arms. Whew. Okay. Step back again. We're just using this as our technique for entering into the pose today. Right heel forward, spread the toes, step onto that foot, shifting your weight, feel the difference, right? Feel that stacking and engagement, right hand to the hip, and then you can catch the left knee with your left hand. Open the hip. Left arm up, right arm to the right side, and left leg's going to shoot down and hover. Release the foot. Release the arms. Good. Step back. Right heel forward. Ground the sole of the right foot. Right hand to the hip. Catch your left knee with your left hand.
Padangusthasana A. Changing it up. Switch the left hand to the hip. Push out through the left foot. Padangusthasana D. All right, left foot forward. It's just a different way of entering into it. Roll down to the sole of the foot, shift your weight. Padangusthasana A first, catch the right knee. While you're balancing, considering, are you balancing your emotional health with your spiritual health, your physical health with your mental health? Between work, life, and play. All right, right hand to the hip, Padangusthasana D. Awesome. Okay, we'll stay here at the top of the mat. We'll lift the arms in front of us. We're going to bend the knees. Okay, right now the heels are on the floor. We're going to get the heels off the floor. So when you're ready, shift so that your heels lift. Balance and breathe. You may or may not have the availability in your knees to come to toe balance. So skip it if you need to, but if your knees allow, your hands can come to your heart. Now it's here on your feet. We added in some wrist and hand stuff. I wanted to add in a little footwork as well. Okay, take your time. Coming down safely to the floor. When you do so, separate your feet out in front of your seat. We're going to stay on the floor, but we're going to work the core. All right, inhale, the arms are going to reach and radiate up. And I'm going to turn my back to you so you don't get confused. Exhale, hollow out the belly like you did in cat stretch. And you can always hold your legs if you feel a little weak in your belly. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the arms to the left and squeeze in through the left side of the obliques. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, squeeze in through the right side of the obliques. And then inhale, back up. All right, exhale, take it through the middle again. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale through the middle. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Inhale up. Exhale through the middle. Inhale up. We're going to do one more set. Let's take it to the left. Bring it to the top. Exhale, roll back. Squeeze that core. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Good, inhale up. Exhale through the center. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then fly the feet up. Come more like a canoe, not quite boats. And then release. Lay out in the corpse pose where the feet are apart. The palms are turned open and the eyelids close. Now, if your shoulders feel okay with this maneuver, now take the arms overhead, palms open as well, like a wide X shape. If your arms are better in that first position, feel free to go back. Notice how this can stretch out the belly with the arms overhead. And we were just working the core. Now slide the arms out like a T and bend your knees. Keep your feet wide apart. Let your knees drip over to the right side. And be here in this windshield wipe position, the twist. And so that left knee should be hovering off the ground. See if your body allows you to now pick up the right foot and stack it on top of your left knee. Right foot over the left knee if your body permits. Affirming, I'm opening myself up to a new flow of energy within. Now let your right foot slip back down to the sticky mat. Inhale, lift both knees. Exhale, allow the knees to drip over to the left. And just be here at first. Just feel what gravity is doing. Sense what this maneuver is doing to the left side of your low back. That can help to determine whether or not it needs to be weighted. Feels pretty good. Go ahead and see if you can stack your left foot over the right knee. Now let the left foot slip down. Inhale, bring the knees back up. When the knees lift, you're going to bring the feet so they're just barely hovering above the floor. With your feet barely hovering, your knees pretty much stay aligned over the round of the pelvis, but we're gonna let the knees roll off to the left, not all the way, but a portion of the way, maybe halfway. And then you're gonna swing them back through the middle and over to the opposite side. And this is not only giving you the twist, but it's giving you an opportunity to practice some core control. So you don't just drop the knees or feet completely, but it's also massaging the buttocks and the piriformis, which can be a really tight little muscle. Taking your time, just swishing from side to side. And once you realign, sink the feet to the floor. Bring your arms beside your body. Now, I'm gonna do this from standing in case you're grounded and you're like, what is she talking about? So the first thing I want you to do is lift your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Straight up. And when you lift the arms straight up towards the ceiling, notice if the shoulder blades really lift off the floor, and then plug them back down. And once you plug the shoulders back down into the floor, you're gonna keep your palms facing each other, and you're gonna squeeze your biceps as you slide the upper arms down to scrape your side ribs. It should be touching your side body until your upper arms push into the floor and your fingertips are still turned up towards the sky. Your shoulders crank under the body and your heart in the cavity of your chest really pop open. Yes, 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 you're doing it. Your arms are pressing, your heart is lifting. This is a modified way to do the fish pose. So you're not gonna feel your whole vertebrae at rest right now. You're doing a back bend. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. And then gently release. All right, bring your palms beside you. Press into the soles of the feet, lift thighs, hips out of the chest, coming into Setu Bandhasana. Now notice, if you keep your hands where they were, you can only go so far in your lift, in your activation of creating half bridge. But if you rock your weight to one arm and then roll the shoulder under you, and then lean into that shoulder that you tucked, and then tuck the other one, you might be able to lace your hands together and press down through your outer pinkies and wrists. You may notice you got more height in your pelvis, a deeper back bend. But now push down through the mounds of the big toes and slightly squeeze your knees closer in. Don't do too much physically that you're overtaxing your muscles. And you'll know that if your belly is no longer filling up on the inhale, deflating on the exhale. Do less physically to bring the breath back if you need to. And then separate your arms. And roll down one vertebra at a time. Hug your left knee only. And slide your right leg down the length of your mat. And just soften your feet. Relax your toes. We're cooling down. When you're ready, take your left leg out and hug your right knee in. So I was listening to this podcast the other day, and it was specifically talking about the Lion's Gate. And I said this is, it's a thing with astrology and numerology. But she was mentioning, even if you don't follow astrology and numerology, there are certain times of the year or certain days through the year that are like portals. I mean, even our holidays like Christmas and Easter can be like an energetic portal. Think about the charge that those particular days have. And gently release that knee. And we are going to be preparing for our Shavasana. So if you wanted by chance to create something more restorative, you can create a restorative back bend with your bolster. If you need to cater to your back, you might like Stonehenge and placing the blocks under the bolster so your legs can go on top. I'm going to dim the lights while you settle in. Even though I love this song, I'm going to change it because it has lyrics and I want to talk to you through Shavasana.
Now take a moment now just to make sure that you chose the right pose. Are your mind and body in agreement? And if so, take a few deep breaths. The lion's gate is meant to activate the heart center. The seat of our fourth chakra. Activating this center also helps to activate our light body. This portal, it's a time to pause, time to reflect, the time to absorb this energy and light that is raining down upon us. Try to look at this light. It's pouring down to the planet as a way of purifying food, water, and also feeding us. To help us to move forward on a positive path. As you're lying here, envision that you're lying underneath an evening sky, doing some starving. Instead of being hit with the bright light of the sun, instead, you're receiving twinkling lights of the faraway stars in the sky. Marveling at the universe, how the cosmos works. Allow these twinkling stars to illuminate more wonder in your mind, more wonder in your heart. As this wonder increases, imagine that now there are gates in front of you. These gates may be of different appearances, different sizes. They may be from this culture or another, from this time or another. See which gate you're intuitively drawn towards. Imagine the gate is opening. As the gate opens, you see nothing but light. Trust the light, walk into the light, and see if the energy has a different feeling. Let it encase you. As you're infused with this light, allow the light to begin to fade out. And maybe you might see an image or a vision of where you were headed or going. And if you don't see anything before you, just create something loving and supporting. So begin deep with the flow of your breathing. And actually go ahead and count 8 more breaths. After your 8, you can awaken a little movement. You can curl in, roll to one side before creating a comfortable seat. And then upright. Bringing the palms together to prayer position at the heart. We all be open to receive and to absorb supportive energy through this portal. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
stay.
Thank you all for joining me today.